Since we began in November, we've listened to over 80 people in Ashland. We listen at 3 different locations. We listen at the First Congregational Church at a community breakfast on Monday mornings. We listen at Uncle Food's Diner at the Methodist Church on Tuesdays. And we currently are listening to anyone, not just the homeless or food insecure, but anyone who comes through the library on Wednesday afternoons. So the story of the homeless in this community, which is not just the people on the plaza, we frequently put that label on them, but those aren't all the homeless people in this community that need to be served. One group that we frequently listen to are the older men in this community, many of whom have been in the valley for a very long time. They were people who did odd jobs, did construction, but find themselves in their 50s, 60s, 70s, with no family, no social security, no resources. When we listen to their stories, they're often proud of how they're living with less, but frustrated by their lack, particularly in the winter, of shelter. A lot of them couch surf or have friends that allow them to stay in a basement or a garage, but they don't have housing. There are middle-aged women. Some of them you probably know and don't even realize that they're homeless. They're living in their cars and in their vans, and they're too embarrassed to let anyone know. They've gotten this way through illness, divorce, job loss, but they're there, and they're moving from place to place. There are the young people who are often the face of homelessness in Ashland. These are people who often have drug and alcohol problems or mental illness. Some have been clean and sober for a while, some have not. Some are estranged from their families and would like to be reconnected. Some have been out of the job market for several years now as they've gotten clean and sober and don't know how to convince somebody to hire them again. But they want to work. There are sons and daughters of Ashland in this group. There are children that your children know who have fallen away from their families through mental illness, through drug and alcohol abuse, who live in the watershed, who don't have any place to go. We listen to them, we hold their stories, and we've been changed by what we've heard, the 17 volunteers. And we hope that these people that we are privileged to hear their stories are changed because they realize that someone cares about them. We've heard from Chief Holderness that there are enabling strategies and rehabilitation strategies. And I know that many people in this community think that we should not be providing enabling services, food, shelter, showers. But we don't have any rehabilitation services either. The lack of mental health services has cost this community dearly twice recently. The lack of transitional housing hurts the older homeless. The lack of any kind of organized jobs program continues to keep younger people on the outside and not on the inside. So are we comfortable as a community if we stop the enabling services but also don't have the rehabilitative services?